My name is Molly Jana Shepherd, and I am currently at the lowest point in my life that I have ever been. Currently, I have $50 in both of my accounts. I'm unemployed, and I feel it's extremely difficult to justify um, justify existing. So to preface this, I'm transgender, I have an anxiety disorder, I'm autistic, and I potentially um, have depression. I don't. I haven't actually been diagnosed with depression. This is something I want to talk to my doctor about. And I've actually tried to record this video 5 or 6 times. Um, and it's not that the content is specifically difficult for me to talk about because to me this stuff is just a matter of fact and I don't have a lot of emotional weighting to it. But I tried theming it around Darkest Dungeon and being like, I'm Molly and this is my Darkest Dungeon, but then Darkest Dungeon ended up being far too entertaining and keep losing track of where I was going. And I even have a little vague script thing here with points that I want to talk about. So, um, currently everything is just amplified far worse at the moment, but I feel this way about myself all the time. Um, Even when I had full time work and I was spending like pretty much every day at work with Alan, which was a really good time, I still felt like I didn't have any kind of purpose, and it was really weighing on my mind and dragging me down. Um, for those of you who know me on, I suppose, more of a personal level, follow my Twitter, etc., etc., would have noticed last year I had more of a presence. I was more positive, but as time went on, I got quieter and quieter. And those people who've been speaking to me one on one, more would probably would definitely have noticed that I've become more negative or more, I suppose, honest because so part of the reason why I haven't spoken up about this is because um and this is partially due to the way that my mind thinks, possibly to do with the autism, possibly not, is when my I don't understand things. I don't understand them correctly. So when I was growing up and I heard people, you'd have people just not necessarily, just complaining or just expressing um, their dissatisfaction with their life or their circumstances. And then you'd have the other people that were just sitting there going, oh my god, all they do is sit and talk about how bad their life is. They don't realize how good they have it. Um, my mind decided that a rule was you never talk about how you're feeling. You never talk about how shit you're doing. And another part of why I haven't really mentioned anything about it is I didn't know that I wasn't supposed to feel this way. I didn't know that I was supposed to be able to feel happy because until I met Alan at work, bless that motherfucker, um, I always just assumed that life was a series of things happen, and if good things happen, you just feel slightly less miserable than you did before, and then you get on with it. Not, you know, you're supposed to be able to keep your motivation and stuff like that. So, for a solid example, I've really found difficulty in keeping up with artwork, keeping up with making videos and putting them out there and stuff like that because I don't feel there's a point to it. I enjoy it and I'd really like to get somewhere with it, but just whatever. Even with the two fucking meme videos I made earlier in the week, the two Payday 2 ones, I got a total of I think about 2,000 views between them. For a couple of days I was like, yeah, cool. I wanna see the numbers go up a little bit more. Yeah, that's pretty nice. But afterwards I just went meh. Doesn't really matter to me. And several years ago, I think it was 2016, I made a Payday 2 video about comparing the different lockpick speeds that were in the game. And that's gotten well over 10,000 views at this point, and that means nothing to me. I don't have a personal attachment to my own feelings or a personal attachment to the things I make. I just see that as, yep, cool. I don't care. I'd really love to care. That's really, really cool. You've done things that you should be proud of, but all I feel is just, so what? I feel expendable and useless. So I spent most of my childhood just fucking around, as you would expect it, as you might expect a kid to. I was really good at all my subjects, so I had tons of time to fuck around when I got home, and I never actually learned any valuable skills. I just coasted the entire time, and I can't do things like I don't have any trade skills. I don't have any handy person skills. Oh no, handyman sounds better. Handy person, handyman, handyman just rolls a bit better. Anyway, I don't have any handy skills. The mathematics skills that I wrote learned are gone, and I don't really have anything to offer. And on top of that, I realize that like I don't feel valuable. I feel expendable. Like anything I do, if you got the correct collection of people together, or you could even find someone with my exact same skills, I could easily just be replaced. And as much as it hurts to say that, or hurts to think about it, to me that's just a matter of fact. I could easily just I'm there's nothing I have to offer that sets me apart from anyone. And that really blends in with my lack of feeling of purpose and my problems with nihilism, because in my mind everything has to have a function. Everything has to have a point. Um Even if that point is to, you know, just fucking entertain you. Even if it's just to give you a fucking cheer up. But like each of the characters in Darkest Dungeon, what happens when they get too stressed? You bench them and bring out your B team, or your C team, or maybe they were your C team and you bring out your A team. Or if they die, you just get another one. One sec, I just want to scald my tea before it gets too cold. I've realised I don't think I've made a point in this video. Because I lost my spot again. I guess I can't measure happiness. I can't measure success. And in school, I used to thrive because I got graded. I got graded on my success. I answered the questions quickly and properly, and I got good marks. In the real world, there's nothing for that. There's just no real criteria for succeeding. So even though I had work, even though I was still making videos, even though I managed to make myself an actual real world friend, um, again, like the videos, it didn't matter because anyone could do what I did. Literally anyone if they sat down and they tried to do it. And that's what terrifies me and eats at me, is that I'm expendable, I don't have any skills, and I can't even function as a proper being. And I really want to apologize to anyone who's neurodivergent and watching this, because effectively in saying nasty things about myself, I'm saying horrible things about you, because you're not a typical human being either. And again, I just want to reiterate, this is about my own dislike of myself, and this is not about disabled people in general. So I don't understand things. I'm scared of everything. Any change, I just like the day at work when they got me to do an 8-hour shift on the registers to make up for someone who was absent that day. They needed someone. I was terrified for the entire day because it was different. I hadn't done it before. I hadn't received any kind of support like I did when I was in training. I was just thrown in the deep end. And the front end manager just said, "Oh yeah, can you do a home delivery for me? Here's the shopping list." I was like, "Yep, okay, yeah, I can do that." And all the while, I was just on the verge of passing out just because I couldn't breathe. And I just don't like myself. I don't know if this is a segue or whether I'm just allowed to ramble. I usually don't like making videos where I just ramble. It's kind of icky. I like getting straight to the point, but I have somewhat of a disconnect between my consciousness and my entire identity. So, for example, when I think of myself, I think of if you're familiar with the term third person, it's like an over the shoulder camera. Um, like you're watching the character run around, kind of like God of War, Resident Evil 4. Um, you're controlling the character, but the character's doing the actions. I feel like my consciousness is just controlling the actions of this character, and under normal circumstances, I would positively adore the character I'm playing as. I mean, I hit all my own buttons. Like, I'm passionate about it. This feels wrong. Like, this Molly is passionate about what she does. She's a furry. She's tubby. She's got a good sense of humor. And like all this other stuff that I would go, God damn, wow, I like this chick. But because it's me, I feel empty. I'm tired of my own company. I think about my own, not specifically about taking my own life, but about my own death quite frequently. A lot of it is I don't want to do this anymore. Someone else would do a better job of being in control of me, or these people would be better off or happier with someone who could do this better. And usually I just think about not existing. As time went on, I started thinking about, um, what I would do to take my own life. And I usually stopped at, well, no, that would actually make things a lot worse. But the other day, I was just standing there with a knife, just kind of waving it over my wrist and then like waving it over my stomach, and I like slammed the knife down in a panic and went, Jesus fucking Christ, I might actually be capable of doing this. I don't necessarily feel that I'm broken because I feel that I feel like I was broken from the start, so that's why I use the word defective. That's basically all I have. If you managed to sit through the entire video, then thank you for listening to me. It's actually quite difficult for me to talk about this stuff because, um, as I said before, I'm I try my best to pretend that I'm functional and a normal human being. I'm not.